Hello viewers, it's Super GT. Your favourite Forza YouTuber is back. Well, at least I hope I am your favourite. So we're going to time this, see how long it takes to get this race into a heap of shite. There we go, 6.1 seconds, and we're already in the wall, getting smashed about. Just your typical day in Forza Motorsport Online. So I am driving as we go past the Leaning Tower of Rio, which looks like a Ford GT. I am driving the BMW Z4 S-Drive 35IS. That is the most stupid name I've ever heard for a car. The tune, SBR Amateur made it, and it's called 1.0. So I like to, from time to time, just go through a couple of new cars, and this is one of them. So sometimes I get a bit bored with the same car over and over again, and I went with this one. Kind of stood out to me. That guy is just going to go flying into the wall. I can say goodbye to those guys. BMW seem to make very good cars for A class and B class from what I find anyway. So I thought I'd test this one out, and it seems to be very decent. So I've come up behind a Supra a bit further into the race, around the outside into the chicane section. He was not very brave at all going through there around the Rio Coast circuit, and that's pretty much all that happened in this race. Not too much more to report. In the end, coming through to finish third, and moving on from that race, we can just have a look at the results there. So the BMW not performing too badly actually. I did lose to Chevy Camaro. Now this race here, Yas Marina, not always the track I want to see come up, but we go for the Dodge Viper GTS ACR 1999. Into the first corner, we've got a decent launch and a decent start. Braking very conservatively. I get a tap from behind, there we go. I was a little bit early though on the brakes, to be fair. But this race turned out to be one of the easiest ones I've had in a long time. This car is actually a bit of a gem that I seem to have found. It really is a very good car, which we'll see in the next race, which is what you clicked on the video for. This is an absolutely brilliant race, and I was so glad I could record this and bring it to you. So from the start, I'm going to say here, I'm going to show you the whole thing. It's not going to cut through any parts of this race at all, because from start to finish it was really close and really well balanced. So into the second corner at Silverstone National Circuit, I've got a very nice apex, keeping it very tight on the inside there. The guy in the Skyline, Monkey Kong 98, another very fast driver who I have raced against a couple of times before. I've seen his name pop up quite a lot, so I know that he's quick. Coming into the left-hander, I'm just going to nick ahead, as you can see there, just see the front of his car poke into the bottom of the screen. But I'm just going to get through into first place. So coming through at the end of the lap, getting a bit sideways, just waiting to get that throttle on the exit as we approach the old main straight of Silverstone, which is, I guess, the main straight for this track at least. So coming across the line, that's lap 1 of 6, 5 more to do. So we've got 5 laps left to try and hold these guys off. I saw the proximity arrow go from white to orange there, so obviously he gained quite a lot on me coming through that first corner, especially in the braking zone. This is where I gained on him on the previous lap. I've gone a little bit deeper than I did previously. That is not going to go well for me. Can get on the power quite early though and go quite wide on the exit there. As long as you're getting on the power nice and early, then you are doing the right thing as you extend your speed onto this straight. And on the brakes into the left, I'm a little bit too late actually, and he is going to have the inside line for this corner, but gives me the inside for the right hand here. But I am just going to be a little bit too conservative and be a bit too nice. I don't think there was quite any contact there, maybe just a little bit. He's going to get the drive on the outside, and he's just going to about take the place there. So going around the outside cleanly, so a decent move. Perhaps that was just because of the mistake I made on the brakes, letting him in there, giving him a chance of overtaking. This time it's me who's on the brakes quite late, but that has actually not played into my favour. Losing a bit of time there, as you can see, losing about 90 feet as we go into the sweeping left as we brake on the apex towards the right-hander. This is the slowest corner on the track, I believe, and it's an important one to get right because you've got the long straight here. So just tucking into the slipstream as he moves across to the right, just following him across, and now we have the Chevy Camaro of the previous race on my tail, and I know from experience of that is a very quick car. I did mention in a previous video that that was a Corvette. Obviously it's not a Corvette, it's a Camaro, but for those of you who know me and how bad I am at naming cars, that's quite an excusable one. I always get that one wrong anyway, but you know what I meant, it's a Camaro. So I crossed the line, that is half of the race done, and it's still very close. So the front three of us here within about 100 feet of each other. A back marker just coming across here. You're always worried when you see a back marker this early into a race, especially when the race is only about 6 minutes long, that he's just going to start ramming you off. Luckily he doesn't on this occasion. He does not want to ram us off. That is very welcome news. The Camaro's lost a bit of time there, lost a bit of ground, so I don't really have too much pressure from behind. I do think that Camaro is slightly quicker than this Viper down the straights, so if he does get a good run on me, then he probably will be getting past. So into the left, a little bit deep once again, but the Skyline, as you can see there, he made the same mistake, so he didn't really lose too much time against each other, but the Camaro behind us is going to start gaining. So at the end of lap 4, I'm right on his tail here, I'm putting a lot of pressure on him, and the three of us are within 100 feet of each other, so it's getting very close now. As we have 2 laps left, can I do anything here? He goes in very early, which I don't think is a good line. So as you can see here, I'm going to get a better exit, and this is going to give me a chance into the right-hander of turn 2. We do have that little left kink though first, which might play into his favour. As it does, it just gets him ahead, and as I brake on the curb, we go 3 abreast on the exit, no contact at all. It's going to be a drag race down the middle straight. This is absolutely incredible stuff. No contact between the 3 of us. That is how you race properly. Into the left-hander, I forget the name, I do apologise. The Skyline's got a little bit deep, and then that's going to cover off the Camaro, and I've come through with a nice cutback on the inside coming into the final turn. I have gone from 3rd to 1st in about a second there, so good stuff. Now we just got one more lap left to try and hold the 2 guys off. The guy in the Skyline, Monkey Kong 98, has just gone down into 3rd place. He's dropped down about 200 feet there, so obviously just reeling from that mistake, going a little bit deep. He could have been in the lead right now if he didn't brake too late coming into that left, but it has all changed on that one mistake. That really is one massive factor in racing. You just have to be so clinical and not make mistakes, or make less mistakes than your competitors, even if you're not as quick. Sometimes it's just about consistency and not making the errors that your opponents make. So coming out of the right onto the straight, he's only about 40 feet behind, which is very close. He could go for a lunge, but he's probably a little bit too far back to do that. So I'm just going to nail my braking point. So for the last 2 laps I pretty much just went too wide there. This time, being clinical, as I just said, make sure I don't make that mistake. It's going to get interesting here as we exit the final turn. We've got 2 back markers, so this is going to get very interesting. I believe that guy on the left is the guy who hit me at the start of the first race into the wall. He doesn't want to do the same this time, and Aston Martin here as well could interrupt things, but he doesn't. I'm going to cross the line in 1st place. Now that honestly was just an incredible race to be part of. Just that part where we come out of the 2nd corner, just coming up here, 3 of us next to each other, no contact at all, and then again through the next corner after that, still no contact. So that is really quite amazing stuff. Really good to see that in Forza. And that is going to bring a close to this amazing video. I thoroughly hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and want to see plenty more of the same. Hit that like button as well if you did like the video. I've mentioned the tunes for both of the cars in the video, but I will also put them in the description below if you want to get your hands on this Viper and the BMW Z4. But that's all from me today, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.